Now, what we're looking at here is the virus bacteria worksheet. Yeah, there's loads. Okie dokie. Right, so the first question is, so you have amoeba, lactobacillus, bean, merca, and mosquito. So we need to find out the bacterium or bacteria. Bacterium is this lactobacillus. That's a type of bacteria. Fungus is the merca. Merca. Can't pronounce it. Flowering plant, that is the bean. And finally, the animal is the mosquito. The mosquito. Right, amoeba is a an amoeba is a type of single-celled organism which can cut across fungi, bacteria. So, 1 second. Right. So it can go into different groups of categories of organisms. Right. Viruses are not included in most classification systems. Give 3 ways viruses differ from other living organisms. So viruses, right, they're not considered to be alive by some people, right, because they only replicate or reproduce in living cells, whilst other organisms that are deemed to be alive can reproduce by themselves. They don't have a cell membrane or cell wall, they only have a protein coat around them. Right. Now the genetic material they contain, they only contain DNA only or RNA only. And remember what we said, DNA is deoxyribonucleic. Big long word. Deoxyribonucleic acid. So deoxyribonucleic acid. And this one is ribonucleic acid. Right, what are the ways that they differ? Viruses are definitely much smaller. They have no organelles. These are little, so for example, that's your cell. Inside you've got like mitochondria, which are responsible for releasing energy for the cell. You've got ribosomes, which are responsible for protein synthesis, for making proteins. You've got a nucleus. You've got the liquid part, cytoplasm here. So they don't have any of these. Right. Also, let me put this in a different color. Also, they do not move about. They do not respire. They do not feed. So everything that a normal living organism does, they do not do. So you can put any one of them 3 in there. Give one example of a disease caused by a virus. Right, the most obvious one is HIV, and the organism infected is it affects humans, and what it does, it affects oh my goodness me, it affects the immune system. It damages the immune system. So HIV, humans, and it affects the human immune system. So it makes you more prone to illness and disease. Right, okay. We've got to now fill this in. So humans are affected by many viruses. Viruses only contain one sort of DNA. They only contain one type of DNA. No, sorry, either DNA or RNA. So they only contain one type of nucleic acid. So getting mixed up here. So deoxyribonucleic acid. All this means is that you've got the ribose molecule, and deoxy means that it's had an oxygen removed. So you have deoxyribonucleic acid, and then you've got right, let me do that. RNA. So this is the ribonucleic acid. We don't need to know this at this level, but that's where the RNA comes from. This is where the DNA comes from. Right, okay, so let's carry on. One virus which causes AIDS is the HIV, human immunodeficiency. Right, AIDS. People with AIDS are vulnerable to infection because their immune system does not work so effectively. This means that they are unable to produce white blood cells, lymphocytes that produce antibodies and become memory cells that normally fight off infection by producing specific proteins called antibodies to help destroy pathogens. Diseases caused by viruses can be prevented by injecting the body with an inactive form of the virus. This method of injecting is known as vaccination and stimulates the body's defense system to produce memory cells. Okay, so 7, yes, 7 easy marks there. Right, so now what we're looking at is complete the table to show the characteristic features of 3 groups of organisms. We need to put a tick or a cross. That's supposed to be a cross there. Right. Can bacteria carry out photosynthesis? Yes. Photosynthesis? Yes. Does it have a cell wall? Yes. Can it be pathogenic? Yes. Right. Fungi, can it carry out photosynthesis? No. Does it have a cell wall? Yes. Can it be pathogenic? Yes. Viruses do not carry out photosynthesis. They definitely do not have a cell wall. They have a, well, if I can spell this, protein coat. Are they pathogenic? Yes, all viruses are pathogenic. Not all fungi and bacteria are pathogenic. You have good bacteria, you have good fungi, but you don't have any good viruses. Right. Table shows some characteristics shared by most animals. Complete the table by giving the missing characteristics. So if something needs nutrition, it's called eating. If they respire, remember, respiration is not breathing. Breathing, you can look at it as ventilation. Okay. Release of energy. Yes, it's releasing energy from a carbohydrate. Some animals can fly. We can call that movement. They control the internal conditions. So that's called whole. Oh, sorry, not the process. What it's called. It's what's an example of it? So, for example, controlling body temperature, or it might be water levels, blood pressure, etc. Yeah. Okay. Increase the population. That's called reproduce, or breeding. But stick to the word reproduce. They grow. So that means that how do they grow? The cells divide. Increase in mass and height. Right, let me just tell you about living organisms. And I can never remember this. So let's try it. So you've got movement, respiration. I wonder if this is growth. That'll come to me. Nutrition. S. You've got nutrition, movement, respiration, reproduction. Let me write that properly. Reproduction. S and E. Right, let me think about that one. Right, okay, so this here is sensitivity. That's how they can respond to the external environment and make changes. And this is excretion. That's removal of waste from the cells. So let's get all of this. Right, they can move and grow. Animals move, plants will grow to the side, or I don't know, how can you call it, movement? As they grow upwards, I don't know. Respiration is where you release energy from, for example, carbs or molecules to help you survive. Sensitivity, we said, is the response to the surroundings. Growth, where you increase in mass or repair. Reproduction, asexually or sexually produce the next generation of plant or animal. Excretion is the removal of waste that comes out of the cells, and nutrition is eating. Now, plants make their own food. Other organisms live off them. Right. Right. This is This is the cell of a bacterium. Many bacteria. Right, so you've got the cell wall. Then you've got the inside. I should really draw it closer, but that's like a sac, and that is called a cell membrane. Then you've got DNA material. It's not in the nucleus. It comes as a plasmid or nucleoid. Nucleoid. And you've got inside the liquidy part, it's called the cytoplasm. Inside, we're after the inside, but let me just put this on the outside just for completeness sake. That is the flagellum or flagella. It helps the bacteria move around. Right, decomposition by bacteria helps release minerals such as nitrate into the soil. Explain why the rate of decomposition is affected by the pH of the soil. Because what happens, enzymes have an optimum, they like to see this word, optimum pH that they work at. Anything outside this other than this, the enzyme can become and denatured. So this is the key word, denatured, optimum pH and enzyme. Okay, explain how nitrates help plants grow. Nitrates are broken down into amino acids and then turned into DNA for the nucleus or proteins to form the nucleus of a new, for example, cell. Explain how nitrate ions get into the root hair cells. Okay. So what you do is, there's the plant, there's the roots. So just say you've got fertilizers has been put on. So if you zoom in over here for argument's sake, let's just say there's the root, there's the nitrate. You've got lots of nitrate in the plant that's absorbed and going up and working its way around after it's been broken down and gets transferred in the xylem. Right, so that's going to disappear up, yeah, but the plant needs this, so it's important. So what it does, it uses a process called active transport. There's like little pumps that pull that in, and for those pumps to work it needs energy, so it needs respiration. That's terrible, isn't it? So it needs energy in the respiration. So respiration needs to occur, which requires energy. So we need to write all that down. So how does it get into? Via a process called active transport. right? It goes the what do you call it? The nitrate ions move from an area of low concentration to an area of high concentration, and which requires energy through respiration. And it's all this is absorbed. The ions are absorbed through the root hair cells, which have a large surface area for efficient. So this, let me write that, surface area for efficient diffusion. Excuse me, efficient diffusion. Oh, okay. 21. Let's have a look. What have we got? We've got loads of stuff. Yes, we have. Oh, okay. So this is interesting. So we can knock it on the head there for now. So we can then make another video, or maybe even two. Right, we'll stop it there.